Welcome to Above It. Master your craft, balance your life. Introducing Dr. Vicky Prokopiou. Dr. Vicky is a general dentist, mum, wellness and career coach for women in dentistry. Dr. Vicky, through Above It, supports female health professionals to avoid burnout and not lose themselves in their craft. You're listening to Inspiration Speaks with Dr. Vicky, Influential Women Series. In this episode, guest speaker Lana TIMMINGS, social media queen and founder of InStyle Media.
Hi, today we've got Lana TIMMINGS from InStyle Media. Lana has had a long and successful career in radio where she has won numerous radio awards and nominations. She's been on the street team, done reception work, has been in promotions and has been on air. Since then, Lana has created her own successful clothing brand worn by celebrities like Kelly Rowland and has since gone on to be an industry leader through using her skills to create InStyle Media Agency, all while having a young family. Lana, you're one motivated lady. How do you do it?
I could ask you the same question, Vicky. Exactly the same question. I guess you just do it, don't you? We don't really have a choice, and you just embrace the life that you have, which is a beautiful life, being a mum. And I think your kids, they're your motivation.
Yep, that's so true. So true. Just tell us about your clothing line and how then you transitioned into InStyle Media.
Okay, so basically my background is commercial radio. Working in commercial radio is full on, which you would understand with your husband being in commercial radio. So after having my first son, Riley, which was 7 years ago, it wasn't a job that I could do full time. It's like, your breakfast radio talent would want to give away a car and you'd be in the meeting saying, okay, when do you want to give it away? And the answer would be tomorrow. Like, it's that fast pace. So it wasn't a job that I could comfortably give 100% my all doing 3 days a week. So I went back for a little bit and I did a different role, but it just, the passion wasn't there anymore, to be 100% honest with you. And then during the time I had Riley, my girlfriends and I were always using the word MILF, which is obviously can be taken quite a few different ways, but we were using it because being a mum is tough, and some days you don't feel like yourself and you lose yourself. So we were using it to pick ourselves up and to feel good about ourselves, and it almost become a little in joke within our circle. And then one day something just clicked and I was like, do you know what, there's something in this fun word that we're using, MILF. And I felt like my mum had passed away and I didn't have that support person to kind of help me and guide me along the way of what to do. I was like, do I give him a dummy? Do I not give him a dummy? Do I swaddle him in the day? Do I not swaddle him? So I was Googling a lot of stuff, and what I was finding was everything was negative. Everyone was talking about the struggles of motherhood and nobody was celebrating it. So I came up with this crazy little idea to create a clothing and accessory line called M.I.L.F. Life. And the reason I did it was it was never to be taken seriously. It was a bit of fun, and it was to pick mums up. And I thought, what a great baby shower present. Someone brings you a M.I.L.F. Life phone case or a M.I.L.F. Life stubby holder. So that idea started from the crazy little idea, and that I just went with it, and it became a full-time job for 4 years.
Wow, amazing. So you obviously have the skills to bring it up from the ground, from nothing.
No, absolutely not. I had no idea what I was doing. I'd never, worked with manufacturers. I've never even been overseas. So, I'm dealing with all these manufacturers overseas. I wouldn't even have a clue where they were from. Wow. But I knew that I had a good little idea and I knew there was something in it and I wanted to bring it to life. So, I made a lot of errors. Like, I remember once I ordered a jumper and they sent me a skivvy. Like, the communication there was a bit tricky at times, but I was so passionate about it. I just did everything I could to make it happen. And thank God for YouTube, because I was YouTubing how to create a logo, how to register your business, how to trademark your brand. So lucky we have the internet and YouTube and Google, because these days that's a learning tool.
That's amazing. And then to have a super successful, was that your first business?
That was my first solo business. And do you know how many people laughed at me saying, like, that's never going to happen? And, you know, are you crazy? And the thing is, Vicky, I didn't have a lot of money to invest. So I started with $200. You know, I was even buying things from eBay, like earrings and things like that, wholesale, and then just putting a MILF Life tag on them just to get stock and just to get the name out there. So I started with $200.
Amazing. And then look at you now. You've got InStyle Media. You've transitioned or gone sideways, or I don't know, just use what you've learned. Always up, down. Yeah, tell us a bit about what you do now for your clients, for companies, because I'm really interested to find out what InStyle Media is all about.
No worries. So having M.I.L.F. Life, the label, again, I had it for 4 years. I had great success. I sold all around the world. Celebrities were wearing it. I was in magazines. It was great. But it kind of got to the stage where I felt like I was just forever outlaying money. And for that didn't drive me. You know, I wanted to create a great life. I wanted to build success. I wanted to, for the first time ever in my life, be comfortable. And the whole product thing, just I kind of lost my passion for that after 4 years, because you know you'd make $10,000 when you'd put $8,000 back into product. So that kind of was a bit of a turn off for me, just forever outlaying money. And I thought, I've got a lot of skills that I've learned throughout the years that I could be giving people and charging them for it. So a lot of people were coming to me saying, how did you start your business? You know, how did you build your website? How did you come up with the name? How did you get Kelly Rowland in your swimsuit? And I'm giving away all my advice and how I did it. And it became like a weekly thing. I would be coaching people, and I thought, you know what? I need to capitalize on this. Like, I've worked so hard to learn what I've learned. It's about time I'm not giving it away for free.
You've got so many years up your sleeve, my goodness.
Yeah, and I feel like I kind of sound, you know, like almost greedy saying that. But at the end of the day, when you put your business hat on, I feel like that's, you know, you've got to think about, okay, how can I monetize on this, and how can I grow this idea and this business. So InStyle Media came about. So I've just gone on a whole tangent for you.
Love it. I love it.
InStyle Media came about because I was losing the passion for the product stuff, and I was dealing with a lot of influencers. So I would send them stuff and they were supposed to post for me, and you'd never see it. Or their communication would be terrible, or I'd pay $300 for an influencer to do a photo and it would be absolute rubbish. So that part of it was really frustrating for me. And there was often times where I thought, do you know what? I could have got her way more money. Like, you know, I'm paying her 300, but if she had have sent me a proper proposal, I probably would have paid 600.
Yep.
So I always had the idea that I wanted to do something with influencers, and knowing how big of a market it is now and how it's growing, I knew that there was something in it. And back to my radio days, I often dealt with radio talent on a daily basis. So I knew how to manage, so to speak, talent, if you want to call it this talent. You said they're talent in their own way, depending on who you work with. So then I kind of used, so it was all the marketing promotions experience from radio, and then it was the influencer stuff with the clothing label, and I've just basically got all of that and jammed it into one business, which actually works, because you know, you start with a brand and then you want to market the brand, which is when influencer marketing comes in. And then the talent management is also a kind of a separate side that helps me gain new clients. So as crazy as it sounds that I've jammed it all into one, it actually all works for each other.
Yeah. And do you find that some of your clients sort of work with each other at all, or do they not cross paths?
To be honest, I haven't found a client at this stage that have wanted to work. We kind of focus on individually, but I guess that would happen if we did a big influencer giveaway.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's definitely opportunities for that, where you give away, you know, a prize pack worth $5,000, and then we give away, you know, candles, clothes, hair products. So there's that opportunity, but at the moment, I'm focusing on one-on-one clients.
Amazing. And like, we've all got dreams. We've all got these ideas that we don't often bring to life. So is that where you would come in to sort of help bring it off the ground?
Yeah, absolutely. And pretty much, Vicky, from the start up, like from, coming up with a business name, I love like that stuff excites me. So coming up with a business name, people think, like, oh, I had a friend that is a personal trainer and she's like, what am I going to call my business? So, you always get the best ideas when you're in the bathroom or the shower. And I remember we were at the shops and I was like, let me go to the bathroom, I'll be back. And then it just hit me and I was like, her surname was Magni. I
Yeah.
come back, I'm like, you're starting Magnitude Fitness.
Amazing.
So, it's that kind of, it's coming up with the business name, creating the logo, brand colors, your mission statements, your message to market, branding documents, websites. I kind of have this theory where in business, I never say no.
Yeah.
So if someone will come to me and ask me, do I do a service, and I don't do it, I tell them I do, because these days you can you can always outsource. So, someone came to me saying, do you do Google ads? Well,
Yeah.
absolutely I do. Behind the scenes, no, I don't. I have no idea what to do for Google ads. But I have a friend who specializes in that can give me really good rates. So I'm not going to jeopardize losing a client by saying no when I can outsource it.
Absolutely. And that's so great. I think the connections is the main thing. As you know, I've started this business. I need all the help I can get too. So I feel for your clients. Can you pick up an existing business at whatever stage it's at and help to promote it and to improve things with it and the future of it?
I've got a client at the moment. They're a restaurant. They've been established on the Gold Coast for over 35 years. And things change over the years. There's, how you QR codes to order menus now and things like that. So I'm working with them, and we have a new target market now as well, because the Gold Coast is changing. So they've been around for 35 years. Everyone knows who they are, but that doesn't mean they don't need a refresh and they don't need new faces and new promotions and influencers through the door, hashtagging and tagging that they're there. So absolutely, I don't think it matters whether you're a new business or, an older business that's been established for a while. There's always work that needs to be done in a business.
Absolutely.
Especially with social media these days, like, you need to be posting every day. You need to be creating new content. You need to be coming up with ideas for stories. You need to be getting people through the door, those influencers through the door, that people are going to be like, oh, Vicky went there, I want to go there.
So if I had an idea, let's say, and I just came up with this random idea, didn't even have a background in it, and I came to you, could you help me start the business?
Yeah, absolutely. We'd sit down, we'd brainstorm, we'd look at your competitors or who in the market would be your competitors. We'd come up with a really cool name. We'd come up with something that would, make you different to everyone else in the market. I feel like things like with, candle businesses and things like that now, it is a cluttered market. But if someone wanted to start a candle business, I'd be like, right, let's look at candles that no one's doing. Is it affirmation candles? Is it, quote candles? Is it, do we put celebrity stickers on candles? Is it, there's so many different ideas that you can do. So you can be a business that's already out there. You just need a point of difference.
Yeah. And that's really nice that there's someone fresh like yourself and your team who can make things come to life.
Yeah, I mean, I can only do so much. It's obviously up to the person that has got the passion, has got the drive. But I'm definitely here to help with the creative side.
Yeah, so as a dentist, for example, obviously Peter has a background, my husband, in marketing. But again, to apply knowledge and adapt it, like for me, it's like a whole new world. Totally new.
Yeah. And you shouldn't have to know marketing. Like, dentistry is, well, don't even know how you do it. It's like next level doctor stuff. But you shouldn't have to do marketing. And that's why, businesses like mine exist, because we're here to do it for you.
You're listening to Inspiration Speaks with Dr. Vicky Prokopiou, presented by Above It. Master your craft, balance your life, get above it.
In our field, there's so many regulations with APRA, which is our national board. And I'm sure you've dealt with people in health and in other areas where there've been lots of rules and regulations. Is that something that you could navigate through and sort of find the loopholes, I guess?
Sounds a bit boring, all those rules, doesn't it?
Too
Rules
many.
are boring. Rules are made to be broken, Vicky. No, there's obviously ways around it. Like, is it you're not allowed to do a written testimonial, but you're allowed to do a video testimonial? Or is it not a testimonial and it's just an interview with someone and
Yeah.
they just happen to say how good you are at what you do? And video content is so huge at the moment. Like, it may not be a written testimonial on your website. It may be a video of a few clients, coming in the shop going, "Hey, Vicky, oh my God, last time I was here, everyone complimented me on my smile." Put that video up because that's a review.
Yeah, absolutely true. Yeah, and what's hard for clinicians is we're focused on finding a problem, helping fix it, resolving it, going into the future, and making sure we prevent other problems. And then to have to switch to that sort of sales promotion mode doesn't come naturally to a lot of us unless we've got that background. So it's really good to have people like you around who can direct you and go, hey, just keep this in mind.
Yeah, and it's true. Like, even I said to clients, social media is a full-time job these days. Like, you don't have time to be taking before and after photos, editing them, posting them, putting a really nice background to them, coming up with a caption, researching hashtags. My partner actually said to me this morning, "Oh, I had a gym contact me, and he's like, 'Can't the receptionist just do it?' And I was like, 'How dare you?' Like, it's not just, the receptionist can do, there's an art to it, and there's study behind it, and there's hashtags for a reason. Hashtags work. Like, no, the receptionist, she's probably not trained to do it, or she's probably just going to hashtag gym.
Yeah,
Like, there's more to it than
yeah,
that.
that's right.
But in saying that too, there's budget wise, there's options. Like, am I creating all the content and the hashtags and emailing it to them, and the receptionist is posting it? Or am I managing it from beginning to end? So social media wise, like that, there's always options. And obviously the cheaper option is InStyle Media. Create your content, your captions, your hashtags. We email it to you every week, and then someone in your business can just pretty much copy and paste it.
Awesome. And you could automate it as well, couldn't you?
Yeah, which we do a lot for clients. The only thing with that is, with social media, engagement is key. So you also need to be in there commenting, liking, engaging with people. So yes, your post will be automated at whatever time you want, but you still need to be in there to grow your Instagram, liking, commenting and things like that. Checking your DMs, replying to people. I've got a beauty client at the moment, injectable clinic, and they're taking the before and after photos, just raw images. They'll email it to me and we'll edit them all for them. So,
Amazing.
you don't have to be there to fix the light. Like, it's just a quick snap and then email it, and then we can do the rest.
So how can we as consumers as well sort of become more confident in creating and maintaining our business and things like marketing? Do you have any tips?
I guess this is a tricky one, Vicky, because I think it's within yourself. So if you're not 100% passionate and you've lost your drive, it's not going to work. That's the end of the story. But if you're passionate, you want to grow your business and you love it, then it's, that's where the drive comes in. But what I find is, if I'm ever feeling a bit flat, or I'm not having a great day, or you've got one of those emails that you don't really want to read, I'll often go onto my competitors' websites and Instagrams, look what they're doing, and then that drives me, because I'm like, you know what? They got 3 new clients this week. I'm going to get 4 next week. Or, they've got this influencer on board. I've got to get a better one and a bigger one. So I
Fabulous.
feel like sometimes sitting down and looking at your competitors gives it brings back that drive and that motivation that, you might be lacking or you've lost.
Yep.
Because we all started our business at the end of the day for a reason. So I think taking yourself back to the reason and looking at brands that inspire you, that's I guess a little tip from me. So
Yeah.
stalk your competitors. Stalk. It's
Be
healthy.
better.
Yeah, it's healthy to do. And here's another little tip. I'll often look at a competitor and then I'll go through who they're following, and then I'll think, you know what, that could be a new client for me. That could be a new client for me. So yeah, stalk your competitors. That's my
There we
tip.
go. Yep. See what the others are doing and do it better.
Exactly right.
How have you managed to have work-life balance?
Look, I'll be honest, it's not great at the moment with an 8-week-old. So
Yeah.
it's not, at this point, it's not great. But in saying that, I give myself every Friday off, which I think is really important. And being, a business owner, you still check your emails. And if there's something urgent, you still do it. But I'll take my laptop, to the local cafe and I'll have breakfast and I'll use their Wi-Fi, or I'll head to the beach and take the laptop. And or I just won't. I'll check it in the morning and then I'll go, to lunch with some girlfriends and then I'll check it again at night. But Friday's my day. So
Amazing.
I think it's nice. And then it kind of rolls into the weekend nicely.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to give yourself, even if it's, once every 2 weeks or whatever you can manage. I'll say it's even better when the kids are in daycare because you've got that whole day to yourself. So, make that day, if they're in daycare on a Wednesday, make that day your non-work day and, use that for yourself, because it's important to look after yourself and it's important to take time to, remember who you were before you're the milk monster.
It's so true, isn't it?
True. And I'll even, if there's something I want to buy, I'll go, you know what, I'll save that and I'll buy that on my Friday. So, you're doing something for yourself. Get your hair done, get your nails done, get a
Yeah.
massage.
Yeah, once that routine's done, then you can get to know yourself again.
Yeah, and it is hard, and especially when you've got so much on. And like I said, you can't have your you day just yet, but you'll get there. Do the hard work now, and you'll get there. And when you get there, it'll all be worth it.
So thank you so much, Lana. You have given us such an insight into social media marketing, to take the risk, take the punt, and just go with it and follow your dreams. And how do you take that leap of faith to try to do something different? Because I know different can be scary a lot of the time. And what are your 3 top tips when you are considering doing that career change or that business that is different to what you've done before?
I would say too, Vicky, it's one of those things, and it sounds so cheesy and cliche, but you've got one life, right? So I don't want to be thinking down the track, I wonder if I started a business and I could have employees and wouldn't that be great? Everyone wishes they started yesterday. Like, do it now, do it while it's fresh in your head. And I guess a little tip is people worry about money and how much money they're going to lose, but you don't need a lot of money to start a business. You do a pre-sale, get one item, take really beautiful images, pop it up, advertise the hell out of it, and do a pre-order. So then you know what? You've got 50 people that want that product. You order 50. So don't, I think money is the main thing that people worry about. I'm going to lose money.
Absolutely.
I can create, there's programs now like Canva where you can create a logo yourself. So if you're starting out and you don't have a lot of money to do that, have a play around. You can change it later on. You can build your own website with things like GoDaddy and Shopify, and they don't have to be amazing, because I guarantee you'll change your business style and you'll probably change your colors. So start with what you can and what you have, and then things will change. I always thought when I started my clothing label, oh, it's perfect. I'm not going to change anything. I changed the logo, I changed the colors, like, things change in a way. And I guess my three tips would be, passion is key. If you're not passionate, it's not going to work. So you need to have that drive. And I remember getting the idea for InStyle too. I was at the hairdressers and there was a girl next to me getting her hair done, and she was doing marketing, and she had a laptop there and she was powering through the emails. She was on the phone, and I looked at her and I was like, I want to be that boss babe. Like, I want to be that busy, and I want to be the person at the hairdressers on my laptop. So, it's kind of finding that passion. Sometimes you find it, like I said, at the hairdressers or in the most random places. And then confidence is a huge one for me, because, I'm representing talent now that have been on TV and Channel 9 and radio, and people say to me, how did you get them? And I'm like, I just sent them a DM on Instagram. I could never do that. It's like, why not? Like, what's the worst they're going to say? No.
Yeah, exactly.
So I had the confidence to reach out to Kelly Rowland and to, all the footballers' wives that were wearing my stuff. Like, my thing was they're only going to say no. And then I guess the next one is, which is controversial, not everyone likes this word, but I would say hustle.
Yep.
And I say hustle like as an example, I always go to candle businesses as a prime example, because I think I think a lot of people want to do them, but they think they can't. So, there's a Gold Coast lady who's got a candle business that is absolutely killing it. She's gone from working at home to having a warehouse, to having employees, to having her candles in every single salon. And you know why? Because she drove around to every single place she could imagine and knocked on that door and gave them candles to sample, to try, to sell. Like, if you want your product to be somewhere, you've got to be knocking on the door. You've got to be calling. Even now, where I've got influencers that I say, "What's your dream brand to work with?" And they'll say Nike. I say, "Okay, we'll make it happen." And then I'll get a no. But I'm not going to take that no for an answer. I'm going to wait till they do some more content that I think would suit Nike. And then I'm going to resend them that and say, "Look what this person has done. How cool would that be for your brand?"
Yeah.
And then if I get it, I'm going to go back again. Like, you need to have the drive, and you need to hustle.
Never give up.
Never give up.
No,
And I said, in business, the worst case we're going to get is a no. Big
that's right.
deal.
That's right.
Big deal.
Yep. And look, rejection is a door that's not meant to open, and you just get to one that's supposed to open, don't you?
Yeah, and I think too, psychologically, we always imagine we're going to get a no. So when you get that yes, you're on cloud nine. Like, you just automatically go, "Oh, no way they're going to want to come in and get their teeth whitened by me." And then you get "Yeah, we'll be there next week." That's no better feeling than that. It's like, wow.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much, Lana. It's been eye-opening, and it's really nice to see the other side of business and where your expertise come in to help people like me who have a business who never get taught that side of things.
Thank you so much for having me. I love talking about, as you can tell, what I can do, and I just think, like, every business needs to grow, and these days influencer marketing is where it's at. Social media marketing is where it's at. The world's evolving, and we have to evolve with it, and that's the way of the future, and especially in small business.
You've been listening to Inspiration Speaks with Dr. Vicky Procopiou, presented by Above It. One-on-one coaching both online and in person. Make changes that nurture your needs at home and in your work life, with short courses that are developed with love and designed to make your work and personal life easier, calmer, and more sustainable. And workshops and retreats to rejuvenate and find yourself.